Welcome back to the Mobility Project. Yesterday we talked about some common pelvic dysfunctions, and one of the things that kind of people are reporting sometimes is, hey, I feel like my hips are open, but I've got this anterior pelvic tilt that I can't break. And that's setting me up for this extension, my hip flexors are getting tight, pulls me out of alignment. So as we kind of solve these problems systemically, one of the things we know is that we're going to have to get into that psoas and open that hip. And specifically, anything that limits this hip extension. So if my hip capsule's open and I'm fine there and I'm tilted forward, anterior pelvic tilt, and we're thinking iliacus, we're thinking psoas, we know how to get in there and do that business. But let's go ahead and work on upstream. And it's a very osteopathic tradition to kind of talk about psoas and scalenes in the same sentence. And your scalenes are your short neck flexors. They basically attach the anterior aspects, the front aspects of the cervical vertebra, and they pull you forward. And one of the problems is that if you're short here, we tend to have forward head on neck position, or if I had forward head on neck position, we know that that's a violation of a lot of this midline concepts. We just spent a lot of time with a bunch of athletes who are obsessing over the small details of being able to relax this anterior jaw, set the athlete up into a better position. It drops the first rib, we see better improvement in internal rotation, the whole system kind of upregulates. So in order for us to attack this up piece, we got to work on the bottom piece. Or in order to work on the bottom piece, I'm definitely going to have to work at myself as a system so I can get out of this and back into alignment. So today, to kind of work on the psoas first, we're going to go up front. So the very first easy piece is to try to get a little load into the back, and you can grab anything behind if you want. Something like this, hand behind back, you don't even have to grab something. We're going to anchor here, and I'm just going to tack right above all the musculature, right above the collarbone. Fall to the side, and let's just stretch out the front of the neck. So anchor, and you can even spend a few minutes just strumming some of this business. We've talked about in the past to be able to wind up behind, hand behind back, and sometimes trap that. And anything that will keep the shoulder back, let me see if I can do it in this position. Anything to do to keep the shoulder kind of wound up puts this whole structure on a good stretch, and then I can get in here. So that's homework number one, is I just want you to open up your neck a little bit, especially the front of the neck. Head to the side, look up, lengthen the scalenes. 2 minutes each side. Second piece, take that pec, the ball, find an edge. We're going to try to get into that pec minor. And we like this through the doorway. So you just lean into there, get some pressure, and I'm going to go ahead and unglue a lot of this structure in kind of the big prime mover here. So pec minor, pec, and all I'm going to do is just get in here and camp out and find some of that gristle business all the way into my shoulder. This can be done on the ground as well. That's okay. Homework number 3 then is if I'm going to work on these pits, I need to work on this bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the best use of the Bowflex ever. This is my stepfather's Bowflex. This is it a Bowflex? What is it? Yes, it's the Bowflex Motivator 2. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to hook a strap onto your Bowflex Motivator 2. Hopefully it will not flip down and hit you in the face. To mobilize to the front of the socket, to catch this stuff, press forward, wind up, go ahead and hang out, and just press into the corners. And what you'll find is that this distraction, or excuse me, the kind of pulling of that band right on the joint line really opens up the front of the hip. Tie that psoas in, thinking about correcting a system at a time. If you are overextended, this is a simple way to get yourself unglued. Think about here, and we'll see you tomorrow.